Welcome to part 6 of the Panorama Van Build, and in part 5 I showed how I built this shower. And if you'd like to see that, I'll put a card in the upper right hand corner. You can go back to episode 5, and then down below is links to all the other build episodes. But in today's episode I want to go over the hot water heater. This is a great hot water heater and I've enjoyed it, and it's very inexpensive. And so in this episode I'm going to show you how to set it up, how I installed it, how it works, how I operate it, and the plumbing system that runs it. So this is the Ridgeyard propane gas tankless indoor home hot water heater. It's very affordable. I got this one for less than 90 bucks on Amazon. It's a small size, 11.5 by 17 by 5. So I figured there had to be some way I could fit this in this van build. It's 8 liters, 2 gallons per minute, energy saving. It says it has low water pressure startup. Well, we'll get to that. Manifold auto protection, don't know what that is. Anti-freeze protection, there's over water pressure protection, that's good. It has a 20-minute timer. And overheat protection when it gets over 75 degrees Celsius. And it runs off 2D batteries for the ignition. So the knobs, it has 3 knobs on the front. It has this winter-summer thing. And the instructions, of course, are not very helpful. And from what I've seen investigating, it's not very clear what this does. So the 2 valves you would use are the flame height valve and the water control valve. And then this is a temperature valve. There's no thermostat. This simply tells you the temperature of the water exiting the system in Celsius. So they're able to simulate a thermostat with these 2 knobs here. So the heater stops when there's insufficient water pressure into the heater. We want that. That means our water tank just went dry or our pump gave out. The heater stops when the temperature gets to greater than 75 Celsius, 167 degrees. Definitely want that. The heater stops when there's insufficient water exiting the heater. And that is what causes a problem for getting low pressure out of this and not using a lot of water. So here's how the system normally works. You connect your propane tank, you have your water container, your water pump coming in, and going out you have your shower head. Now I don't use this knob here to control the water pressure. I use one that's on my shower head to control the pressure. The flame height on low, it would kind of go out on itself. So I set that just on medium and left it alone. So the normal use is you would turn on your water pump, turn on the heater system. This valve would be closed to the shower head and the system will pressurize and there's no ignition. The pump then shuts off when it comes up to pressure and then nothing happens. When you open the shower valve, the heater senses the water going out. It also senses there's enough pressure coming in, so it ignites the burner and the burner stays on. And as the water flows, it will reach a consistent temperature based on how much flow is coming out of here, how you've set the burner height, and how cold the water is going in here. So if you were using this outside at a pool, it would be fairly easy to manipulate this and get a constant temperature that is comfortable. The problem comes in is when you reduce the shower head pressure to conserve water. The heater then shuts down and then it just pumps cold water. It's not what we want. So the solution was to add a recirculating line. So this is just a T-bar with another water line and a shut-off valve that just flows back into the water tank. That way when both valves are open, we have a higher water flow out of the heater. So when the heater ignites, the warm water flows through the shower and also back into the water tank. So there's enough to keep the burner going. Now the water tank is going to get hotter and hotter because there's no thermostat. So what's going to happen is it's going to get so hot that the system's going to shut down and it's going to be hot enough to where you probably get burned. So at this point you may be thinking, well, this system just isn't going to work. Well, there's actually a super simple solution that does work well. So let's start with a fresh cold tank of water. And in this case, we're going to leave the shower head off. We're going to open the recirculating valve. That's going to cause water to just recirculate through the system, and there's enough pressure to where the ignition will start the heater. And what I'm going to do is I just watch this temperature here till it comes up to a temperature that would be comfortable. So this water just circulates and circulates, and all of a sudden now we have a tank full of hot water that's the exact temperature that we want to use. Now we shut off the recirculating valve and we go when we take our shower. So all we have to do is manipulate this valve to the exact water flow we want to save water. The heater isn't going to ignite because the water flow is too low. So you get a nice warm shower, the temperature you want. So in effect, what we've done here is turn a tankless water heater into a tank water heater.
So let's go out and let me show you how this operates.
So I'm now inside the van, and this is normally how the back door looks. It has this covering over it. So what I did on this door is I removed the covering. I just pulled here, 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 and here, and then the whole thing just lifts off. The reason I did that was to take everything combustible off the door, so the door is now all metal. Behind it, the only thing is some insulation, so all metal door. Then I went to Lowe's and got this piece of galvanized sheeting. It's over there with the flues. Actually, you can roll it into a flue. This is the larger piece, and it fit perfectly. So all I did is I just took a straight edge and bent this one, took some 10 snips and snipped it off, and then took a hammer and just bent the edges over so they weren't sharp, and then put some sheet metal screws in and screwed it real in. It was really quite easy. Here we have the setup on the bottom. This is just a 1/2 inch gas pipe on here, and then a 1/2 inch to a flare fitting, and this is just a standard gas line that you get for your grill with the regulator on the other side. Then you have the water coming out, and then the water going in, and your 2D batteries which supply all the power go in here. Here's your power on off switch. The switch is currently on, but because it hasn't met all the criteria, it is not kicked on. It's set to summer, kind of medium to low heat, and then full water flow. I made this little flue diverter. It's a little adapter with an elbow kind of adjuster thing on top of it, so I could turn and direct the heat away from the door. But I have found that it puts out some heat, but it's not awful. And I have the window cracked and the door open when I run it. I don't know that's even really necessary. It does put out quite a bit of heat, of course, here from here. And it's pretty cool from here down, but heat does come out of this side and does come out of this side. The directions were not clear on the minimum setback, so it's just kind of try it and make sure you're not overheating anything. Now inside I have this bin where I have my water. I open it up, and here is, you can fit several jugs. These are 2.5 gallon jugs, and I have them here. I like these because they're easy to carry. It's no trouble taking them in, getting them filled up. Also helps to know with your water usage that you've used 2.5 gallons, and you might want to ease back if you're using too much. So the goal is to take a shower with just that 2.5 gallons. The propane tank is right here, and so there's a regulator in there and just runs out there. So the pipe, one pipe comes out, the smaller pipe here goes out to the water pump, which is behind here. Here's my diverter valve back there, we'll use that. And then it just goes out and comes back. And I've zip tied up all the lines together. I have a bungee here. Got to be careful nothing gets crimped or rubbed, so still need to work a little bit more on that. So the normal process is you just open up this valve, your shower valve, and then your heater kicks on. And because we have enough water flow going out, you can see it's heating up quickly. When you turn the shower head off, it'll shut off. I've got this diverter valve right here. So right now I've got my shower head valve is shut off, and the system, the pump is on and the propane is on, but the heater is not running. So all I'm going to do is open my diverter valve all the way. That's just going to recirculate water from the tank. As you can see, the water is heating up, and it heats up very, very quick, especially with 2 gallons. And here the water is just recirculating through the water tank. So now all I have to do is just watch this until it gets to the temperature that I want it to be at to heat the water tank. If you can see the flames down in there, and then there's also a little window right here where you can see that the flame's going. So I've let my water heat up to about 58 degrees centigrade, and let's say that's the temperature that I want. So all I do is just reach over here and turn off the recirculating valve. Then the water heater shuts off. And now I've got 2.5 gallons of very nice warm water. And so I'm ready to take my shower. So now that's reached temperature. I went ahead and turned off the water heater so it's not tempted to kick on and off. And now I can just open my shower head to whatever level I want and not use a whole lot of water. You can see there, I don't know if you can see, there's steam coming off that water. So I hope you found this video helpful. The next one that's coming up is I'm going to go over toilets. I have a place for a toilet right here, and I'm going to go over all the different kinds that could work, what doesn't work, the features that I like of them, prices, and show you the one that I finally decided on using. It's going to be a great video. And then in the future videos, we got to do the wiring, and then we got to do the heating system. So quite a lot more coming. So I hope you'll stick with the series. As always, I appreciate your comments and your likes. And the comments, I love reading them, and I get great ideas. So thanks for watching.